A very good morning to all the participants. Welcome to this national webinar on biomaterials from natural resources for regenerative medicine. This is being conducted from the Guru Nanak Center of Research, Guru Nanak College. The Guru Nanak Center for Research has been conducting a lot of multidisciplinary programs and workshops, certificate courses, and various other programs. We have been even conducting outreach programs such as the gender sensitivity program. I think many of the participants who have joined us will already be knowing that the kind of activities the Guru Nanak Center for Research, Guru Nanak College has been doing. Thank you once again to all the participants who have joined from across the country. Truly, this is a national webinar. If you could see the range of participants, it is from Kashmir, Assam, Punjab, West Bengal, Ujjain, Utkal University, Bilaspur, Chhattisgarh, Bhojpur, Madhya Pradesh, Kerala, and you have the local Chennai participants also have joined us. So thank you all from across the country who have joined here. And one more thing I would like to add, there has been an overwhelming response for this particular webinar because the kind of topic that was chosen, it is biomaterials from natural resources for regenerative medicine. We have been receiving around 900 odd registrations. Again, we are restraining it only to 250 participants. And please, again, request you all to keep your audio muted and do not present during the course of the program. With these few words, I would now like to invite our principal, Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, to give the welcome address.
Good afternoon, one and all present here. Dr. Prithviraj Nagarajan, today's resource person. Convener of this program, Dr. J. Jayanti, Dean Research. Organizing Secretary, Dr. E. Gayatri. Host of this program, Dr. Mahendra Kumar, and a galaxy of our own colleagues from Guru Nanak College. And as said by convener, the entire participants across the nation, and also my dear student friends, all the participants, I extend a very hearty welcome on behalf of Guru Nanak College to this wonderful program. As the convener said that the topic is good, and so there are a lot of participants. It is one of the reasons, and one more reason is that today morning I have posted this link and the details of this webinar in a group called a Science Collagium something, Life Science Collagium something. Immediately I got a message, response is that he is a good molecular biologist. He is a good molecular biologist. Please, all of the people join this program. This was the message immediately displayed in this. And so the response today is depending upon both the two reasons. One is the topic and the person who is now today going to present. On behalf of Guru Nanak College, I extend my heartiest welcome to you, sir, Dr. Prithviraj. I'm very happy in welcoming you on all the participants for this wonderful program arranged. And I greatly, abundantly wish the organizers, the Dr. J. Jayanti, the Dean Research, and Dr. E. Gayatri, and the host, Dr. Mahendra Kumar, for having arranged a wonderful program. I hope this afternoon will be a useful and fruitful program for all the participants. Thank you. I once again welcome Kunda. Thank
you. Thank you, Principal Sir, for those wonderful words. We always thank our Principal because he has always been supporting us regarding all the research-related activities. Thank you, sir, for having joined us on a holiday and supporting us once again. Thank you so much. Now I invite the organizing secretary of this particular program, Dr. E. Gayatri, to introduce the chief guest of today.
Thank you, Principal Sir. Thank you, Dean Ma'am. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce the speaker of the day, Dr. Prithviraj Nagarajan. He received his MSc Biotechnology, PG Diploma in Clinical Research, PG Diploma in Personal Management and Industrial Relationship, MBA and PhD from Annamalai University. For his pioneer work, he received his PDF and postdoc from Shanghai Jiao University, Shanghai, China. Later, he worked as a senior scientist in Shanghai Jiao University, School of Medicine, Shanghai, for 5 years. His research areas are focused on drug discovery, especially for cancer and diabetic mellitus. Due to corona pandemic, he came to India and at present, he is working as a research scientist in Multidisciplinary Center for Biomedical Research, Aripadi Medical College and Hospital, Puducherry. He is an expert in stem cell regeneration, pharmacology and toxicology, natural products and drug synergism. He committed himself to the further research collaborations and signed more than 7 collaborative projects. To name the few, he has signed an interdisciplinary pharmacological research collaboration with the Department of Pharmacology, Savita University, and Faculty of Marine Sciences, Annamalai University, and a clinical research collaboration with Biozone Research and Technology. And we have also signed an MOU with Dhanalakshmi Srinivasan Research Institute, Perambalur. He is a recipient of Young Scientist Award and the Best Scientist Award from Shanghai University. Moreover, Sir is a recipient of many honors and awards from different institutions in India and abroad. He has to his credit 21 research papers in reputed journals and published 3 monograph books in Lambert Publication, Germany. For his deep expertise in pharmaceutical research, he has been selected as an associate editor and editorial member for more than 5 reputed journals. He is easy, accessible, amicable nature. Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation. Over to Dean, ma'am.
Thank you, Dr. Gayatri, for that wonderful introduction of the resource person. Now it's over to our resource person of today, Dr. Prithviraj, to take over.
Yeah. Very good afternoon to one and all. First of all, I like to thank our principal, sir, Raghunathan, sir, who is, and also Jayanti is a Dean of Research from Guru Nanak Research Center for Research. So today is one of the important day for me that to interact with the young scholars and the researchers and faculty members to share about my experience only on research field on natural products for the regenerative medicine. I can say simply as biomaterials or bioactive compounds from natural resources for the regenerative medicine. So thanks for your wonderful introduction for me. So, for all the audience, I have to share my experience how from the Prithviraj from India to China. So I did my master's degree of biotechnology in Annamalai University and PhD diploma in clinical research. And also I did my master of educational management in Arapa University. And after that, I finished my doctor of philosophy in nanotechnology in Annamalai University. After that, I finished my first postdoc in Shanghai Washington University for 2 years. And my second postdoc in Shanghai Jiaotong University for 2 years. After that, I promoted as a senior scientist in same Shanghai Jiaotong University School of Medicine. Currently, while I'm in China, I'm carried out nearly 4 projects. The first project is stem cells and regenerative medicine from tissue regeneration animals, especially from the zoological field. And another is natural products chemistry, that is from isolating the marine and plant natural bioactive compounds for anti-cancer drug discovery. And another field is the pharmacology and toxicology field, especially focusing on some animal models. I use the zebrafish model as a regeneration model, and I have testified and I test my active compound in this, and I just got the patent, and also I published a research paper on this pharmacology and toxicology field, especially for the regeneration activities. And 10% I have gone the nearly 3 lakh project and began the collaboration between the Savita University and also the Annamalai University. I did my drug generation project from the drug discovery from the marine resources. So today my topic is fully focusing on biomaterials from natural resources for the regenerative medicines. So at first, due to the pandemic, COVID, you all know that the world is focusing on a very tragic condition. So at first I joined here in Arubadi Medical College, which is Vinayak Mission University, the Central Multidisciplinary Center for Biomedical Research as a research scientist. I joined here for the past, I'm here for nearly for 2 months, I'm here. So today I'm going to share my contents of my PPT, which contains introduction part, drug development, natural products, and also the role of the natural products in drug development, and classification of natural products, and conclusion, and the reference. So my dear friends and my young research scholars and my PhD scholars, and all the young bio scientists. So most of the persons I want to clarify that why I have choose the bioactive products for my drug research. You know that before entering the topics, we have to know that what is drug. Everybody have crossed over the drug. Everybody can know the drug. As far for UG and PG students, I have to clarify very clearly that So drug is nothing but a chemical substance which are administered to the person or animal to cure the disease. What are the requirements for the approval of the drug? I can say that according to my assumption and my experience, I can say only 3 requirements. For one, the drug should be safe. Number 2, it should be effective in treating the disease, whether it will be an antimicrobial disease or an antivirus disease, anything else. And it should be manufactured correctly and reproducibly each time. It is very, very important. Even though you are doing the research, or if you are going to do the research, keep it in your mind. If you are doing some research, your research activity and your research productivity and your research results should be effective in case of human consumption. So one more thing, that you should be planned very correctly and it should be reproducible, your result and your research each time, those who do or those who want to do. So my assumption is, how does a new drug or a new if you're having a new lead compound, or you're going to discover a new drug, how from the lab, I mean from the beaker to the bottle onto the shelf. So you all know that recently Hyderabad, the Bharat Biotech, they have identified the COVID drug, right? So now it is in the clinical practice. So I can say that you can just combine this tragedy, this condition tragedy with my points. So you can read the points again. How does a new drug go from a beaker to a bottle onto the cell? That's why we are waiting for the COVID medicine, right? We are waiting for the COVID medicines from the lab beaker to the shelf to create this medicine. So come to the drug development. So drug development, you all know that it is a process of bringing a new drug to the market. Once a lead company has been identified through the process of drug discovery. What is for the drug development, which is the main thing? What is the main impact? It means natural products. I can say in English and also Tamil, இயற்கை சார்ந்துதான் ஆராய்ச்சி. That means just binding with the nature, nothing is impossible for the research. So for the natural products, and natural is one of the richest source of biological active compounds. You all know that today many medicine, many herbal medicine, Ayurvedic, Siddha, everything is fully focusing on only on the natural products. So it can be obtained directly from the natural source, or it will be developed from a lead compound originally developed from or obtained from the natural source. So my dear friends and my scholars and my young scientists, I can say that you all know that, everybody can know that how the drug is coming. You all know that drug is coming from the research, clinical 1, clinical 2, clinical 3, and clinical 4 stage, right? But don't compare with the pandemic situation with the drug process. But now we are in the COVID, we are getting hurried to get the research. So all the worlds are focusing on new kind of drug for COVID. So why I'm linking with COVID with my PPT means we have to link, as a researcher, we have to link what you're known, what you are unknown with current research. So for the drug discovery stages, what are the following stages means? I can say that target identification, target validation, assay development, screening and hits to leads, and lead optimization and proof of concept. These are the main stages for the drug discovery stage. Okay, come to the point. Why I ever choose the natural product? You can ask me as per my experience, I can say that why have choose the direct natural products. My dear friends, if you want to do the research, one more thing you have to see that these 5 points are very, very important. Number 1 is sexual diversity. Number 2, apparently is unlimited quantity and evaluation against challenges. And 4th one is potency. And 5th one is very, very important, that safety and efficiency. It is very, very important for the natural products. For the drug discovery process, what is the important thing means the compounds. I mean the drug, that biomaterial compounds that can able to treat the disease. How it can able to treat the disease? First point I told that no, lead identification. So lead identification is coming from the compound, example natural resources, or from the complementary chemistries. And second thing is a yearly safety evaluation. Is nothing but to understand the effect of the lead compound in animal models to predict the behavior in humans is very, very important. And final thing is lead optimization. That means what you identify the lead compound that should be safer and more effective in the human beings. That is very, very important. If you want to say it is safer and more effective means you have to do the screening effects. Pre-screening and screening. I mean, in vitro and in vivo, you have to do something effective, and you have to say that our lead compound should be safer and more effective. Generally, for the next level for products, they can be classified into plant, animal, microbial, marine, and venom toxin. It's all the sources should be linked only for the human consumption. I can say that today our topic is a biomaterial, right? So how the biomaterials can be obtained or can be extracted from the plant, animal, microbial, marine, and venom and toxins. So I can say that while I did my PhD in marine biotechnology, I have chose the source of venom and toxin from the stonefish. I have isolated the particular compound which is responsible for the anti-cancer activity. From that, I went to China. Then I have chose the zoology. I mean the starfish as a source. Then I isolated the active biomaterial from the regenerated tissue. Then I isolated the one particular enzyme called alpha elanose. I'm giving some points for the research scholars and also for the scientists. Those who want to do the research in regeneration animals, I can give some points. For example, in plant also, you all know that banana tree can able to regenerate. But nobody knows that why the banana tree is able to regenerate. When it comes to the animal sources, I can show some cockroach and frog. And also another animals, for example, salamander. You all belong to the zoology. Those of persons who belong to the zoology field, they all know about salamander. And one more thing that in our home, we are seeing lizard, right? So lizard is one of the good example for the regeneration field. Yeah, lizard is one of the good example for the regeneration. So okay, sir, you're telling about animal, natural products, everything, right? So how the bioactive materials can link with the natural things, natural products, and natural resources means think very, very careful. I told that without nature, nothing is impossible in the research. So I can say that lizard can able to regenerate is a tile after 2 or 3 weeks. Maybe it takes for nearly 40 days, right? So you have to think why the lizard having the ability to regenerate its own parts. Why the man cannot able to regenerate the own parts. So what is the important biomaterial? Or what is the important compound or a lead compound? Maybe an amino acid, polysaccharides, maybe it's a collagen. I don't know. You know, right? So for these cases, you have to identify what is a biomaterial or what is a bioactive compound which is responsible for the regeneration. If you just listen this one, it will be give the answer for the regenerative medicine. How I can say means, if you identify which compound is responsible for the regeneration animals, that compound is responsible for the wound healing activities that can be used for the regenerative medicine. That's the point. So that's the point. Now, how we are taking the sources, that is called natural sources, which is linked with our regenerative medicines. So let's go very deeply into the topic. So what are the role of the traditional plants in drug discovery? You all know that botany students and also so those who are doing in the research and in the plants, they all know that it is a long history which are used in traditional treatment of cancer, diabetes, anti-infection, antimicrobial, anti-immunity, everything, so many diseases, right? But I can say that plant-based systems continue to play an essential role in health discovery, because for selecting a drug, for selecting a research, one more thing I told that selectivity is very, very important. For in these cases, the plant is one of the long history which are used in the research field. In 1985, WHO estimated that approximately 65% of population of world predominantly laid on the plant only. Maybe it is linked with the traditional medicines for the primary healthcare. So I can share some few examples with the note, I don't want to share some scientific names, right? So you all aware of this flavor, right? Madagascar periwinkle. In Tamil name it is called Nitya Kalyan. Maybe I can say local, Kallari Pukal. In Tamil name, many of them are from North India. So I can say that you can all see this plant, right? So how, sir, this is linked with the biomaterial means I can say some example, my friends. You can see in the pictures, it's having some drug imbalance. It is a good treatment for leukemia, anti-diabetic, anti-cancer. You know one that from the South Korea and China, they're doing the research on this flavor and they identify one peptide, CFS peptide, that is a biomaterial which is used for the diabetic foot ulcer diseases. I'm saying an example for you. Most of the cases in Indians and others, they know that it is a good plant for the anti-diabetic plant diseases. But I can say that from this plant, they identify the CFOS peptide that is responsible for the anti-wound healing activity that is in diabetic foot ulcer diseases. Now they're going to publish the paper because I can say that while I'm coming from India to China, I have taken this plant of flower as a powder. Then we were having the laboratory. We identified some of the screening effects in nude mice model. We have got good results, but the process is on the process. That's why I'm saying that CFOS peptide, which is identified in this plant, having a good ability in diabetic. This is one of the biomaterial from the natural resources. And another thing is Amivisaga. It is a metformin, right? You all know that our parents and maybe our father and mother as a diabetic, they are having this drug to reduce our stress and also for the sugar level, right? This particular plant and this is the metformin. Now they are using in the zebrafish model to have the gene expression model to have the stress in the appetites and also heart attack pathways. So it is as used as an anti-diabetic drug. Now, in Rexanism project, we have used this drug for format combined with Politip. It's one of the drug. I'm saying example. So metformin is the Politip, and we are treated with the Candida albicans to treat the wound healing infections in the vagina part. So in few cases, there's a burn parts from the human body. And we are combining with some drugs and we are seeing some anti-scassing that is related to the angiogenesis properties. So come to the animal sources. You all know that animals are sometimes be a good source for the pharmacological active natural products. I can say one good example, my dear friends, the African frog skin, it contains some potent analgesic compound that is called epididine, which is obtained from the skin extracts of the poison frog. I think you want to see the poison frog, right? See, this is a beautiful frog. It is exhibited some of the active peptide, alkyl active peptide from the tiny skin of the frog, and it is having a good derivatives of analgesic properties, and it is one of the promising drugs in the South Korea also. You all know that in India we are seeing so many frogs, green frogs, everything, but in China and South Korea and all, they're having a separate team for the frogs, and the isolating is not a compound. They are isolating now. They are going for top level. They are going for peptide. My dear friends, most of the cases, the person who are doing the research, they want to do the selection, characterization, purification, then NMR identification. Now what they're doing means they are just taking the slimy skin secretion from the frog, and they're going for the GCMS or LCMS or Malta and identifying the active peptide, and each active peptide they're going for the activity and they're going for the other direction. For example, glassy material and regeneration medicine and tissue regeneration products and also anti-cancer activity. For this now they're focusing on that process. So I can share some of the products.
Prithviraj sir, just one announcement, sir. There are some participants who are two
Hello.
icons. Hello?
Yeah, tell me, madam. Hello, can you hear me?
Sir, actually, ma'am wanted to say.
Sir, only one thing announcement for the. Yes, sir. Yes, I can hear you, sir.
Yeah, tell me, madam.
Mahendran, sir, you tell, sir. No,
Yes,
not
ma'am.
me.
Yes, ma'am. Sir, actually, ma'am want to give some instruction to the participants. Many participants are
Yeah.
not able to view your slides, sir. Dear
Okay.
participants, kindly pin onto the icon Prithviraj. There will be two Prithviraj in the people. If you search in the people or the participants, there will be two Prithviraj. One will be speaking and one will be presenting. You kindly click the pin button onto the presenting slide of Prithviraj so that you can have an uninterrupted viewing of the slides. Thank you very much, sir. You can continue, sir.
Yeah. Anything? Any technical issues there? Nothing, no.
No, sir. Not technical issues. The
Yeah.
participants are not able to see your
Oh, yeah,
slides, sir.
fine. Whether I have to go back and I have to
No, sir.
check it again?
From your side, it's perfect, sir.
Thank you so much.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So now I can continue my slide, right? So I want
Yes,
to
sir.
share
Yes, sir.
some of the pharmaceutical drugs in commercial use. Don't think that I'm just sharing the natural products, sir. I am linking with the natural products with the materials for the regenerative medicines. Because just to think, my dear friends, in India, we are able to do the research and we are going to do some of the contribution for our PhD research, right? But in foreign countries, what they're doing means they are publishing the paper, they're identifying the active compounds, they're not going for the patent. They will register for the patent. After getting the patent, they're going for the active material. That's why we are not doing in the India. But in foreign countries, what they're doing means identifying the compound, going for the company, then identifying the active peptide or material that should be utilized for the human consumption. I can say some of a few examples, but in pharmaceuticals, what are the commercial use means as a zoology field, as a life science candidates, I can share some few examples that, for example, this is a Conas, right? For the Conas, we are having the product of the chronic pain is allergic drug. These drugs also now utilized as a biometal as a antigenic, and that means the anti-painkiller for the diabetics. So these are the biomaterials obtained from the pharmaceutical drugs in commercial, which are available in commercial use. And we all know that fish liver oil, which is the omega-3 fatty acid, all the diabetes patients they are having to control their low cholesterol level, everything, right? But even though in fish fatty acid also, they have obtained some one peptide, that is trilicapeptide, which is obtained from the Simcon University. Now the process is going on, and all you know that tilapia fish skin layer, which is also used as a wound healing artifacts for the skin. So in that also they identify, in South Korea they have identified a particular peptide material, glassy hydrogel material ointment that should be used for the anti-diabetic effects. So why I'm saying means eating the fish and also just applying the fish layer on the skin also, they have just justified and they have published so many papers. But the biomaterial from the fish liver oil or the fish skin, how it be implemented as a regenerative medicine means that is nobody have known. As a researcher, as being for the 5 years in regenerative medicines, well, I'm attending so many conferences and also so many presentations and linked with so many professors. I got to identify because what we're doing means I know that it is very difficult. As master degree students, also PhD degree students, those who want to do that, those who want to complete the degree, the target is to finish the thesis, right? Afterwards, they will go for the job. But nobody can concentrate on to continue the work as a product. It's definitely impossible in India. I know that. For that, you have to get the grant commission, and for that, you have to have the good laboratory. For in these cases only, I'm not promoting as to come to abroad, but I'm saying that some experience that as a simple fish liver oil and fish skin, how the biomaterials, they have just planned the material, utilize the postdoc idea and has a product. That's the thing I'm sharing to you. So come to regenerative medicine. What are the main thing means I can say the 3 pillars. One is a tissue engineering, one is a biomaterials, and one is a stem cell therapy. For tissue engineering, I can say that no more in India, more and more tissue engineering like accidental, dental, and bone fracture. Everything is focusing on tissue engineering. But stem cell therapy is one of the importance. I can say one good example, my dear students. In Pondicherry, Aravind Eye Hospital, which is opened by our Abdul Kalam, So now what they're doing means there's one of the famous scientists is Indu Madhi. She's working in Hyderabad. She's from the Pondicherry. She's identified from the cornea, from the eye, they identify one stem cell and is utilized for the eye deficiency. From the eye cells, you just make implementation on the regeneration capacity in the dead cells. So this kind of the stem cell, I can say another example also. In stem cell therapy, you are using so many stem cells, right? Quark cells and fibroblast, and also from our newborn baby, we are using some umbilical, right? These are the stem cell therapy which are used for the regenerative medicines. And another one is a biomaterials, I think, but scaffold. But for the scaffold, I can say that a few examples: collagen, chitin, gelatin. These are the biomaterials used for regenerative medicines. For the collagen and scaffold, I can say that for collagen, usually the girls and men are using some cosmetics, right, which contains so much of collagen substance. One thing I can say, that aloe vera, right? The aloe vera is a common plant which contains so much of substance. But I can say that in China and in South Korea, they're taken as a the pig skin, no collagen, right? In China, they're eating pig, right? But in most of the cases, they are also extracted some collagen from the pig. They're using as a materials, as a glassing materials, as an eyeglass, and also lens, and also they are also used in the bone scaffold. That's one of the things. Usually, the Chinese persons, they're having good immunity power. How I can say means, most probably at the age of 65 only, they can't able to walk. But you know one thing, they are taking the biomaterials from the green tea. Green tea. But Indians, what we are doing? We are taking the tea, right? They're taking the dust tea. I don't want to go deeper, but what they're doing in Chinese, they're taking the green tea which contains so much of a lead compounds, bioactive materials, and also antioxidant compounds, which is very good for the body. And it's also regenerating some of the dead cells. It's also activate the cells. So this all related to the regenerative medicines. So generally, regenerative medicine is fully focusing on bioactive material science, developmental biology, organ transplantation, and very, very important for the surgery and also tissue engineering. So the bioactive materials, which field it is focusing on means dentist, orthopedics, molecular biology, cancer therapy, and stem cell therapy. This following 5 fields is made vital role of the bioactive materials. So I can say how it be very helpful. So come to the stem cells, right? Our human body, you all know how human body contains more cells. I can say that, for example, I'm just isolating the stem cells. For example, okay, come to the zebrafish, right? The zebrafish have the ability to regenerate its own organ within 25 hours. So I can say when zebrafish having the stem cells, means isolating some stem cells means how the stem cells which are isolated from the natural resources, how it will be used as a biomaterial for the human. So consider this is as a stem cells from the natural resources. Consider that. For example, astrocyte that can be used for the bone marrow, and for the cardiac cells, it's isolated from this, it can be used for the heart, and hepatocytes for the liver, and enterocytes for the intestines, and one more thing, neurons for the brain disorders. So now you can think that I can say, I have say one example of no plant, and also zebrafish, starfish, and another thing the frog, and another thing is the cockroach. You know the cockroaches have the ability to regenerate their own cells. You all know that we are having only one thing we have to know that when you find the cockroach, you know to beat the cockroach and crush the cockroach until they die. But you know that cockroach is a good active person. It's a good acting, right? We can give the good acting award to the cockroach. If you beat the cockroach, definitely it just play right into that. It's good. It can act good acting. It has a can show there's a die, but definitely after 5 minutes it will run away. But you know that when it just broken his leg of the cockroach, it can able to regrow within 3 weeks. So come to the point for tissue engineering. What are the 3 factors means? Cells, scaffolds, and biological factors. All the things are related to the tissue engineering, which is also related to the human beings. Each one of them. For example, neck, back pain, hip pain, and knee, and also foot and ankles. So how is that this linked? This is all the general information you're saying means I can say that collagen, gelatin, and also chitins, which is extracted from the natural resources, converted into the scaffolds that scaffolds can be used as a human consumption. In cells also, I can say that stem cells, for example, wax cells, fibroblast cells, and also the skin layer cells which are extracted from the natural resources and also from the animal resources, that can be converted as the scaffolds material. Then it can be used as a human. Biological factors, I can say that VGF, VGF, TGF, that's active compounds. Factors I'm going to discuss later. That can be also used as a tissue engineering field. That can be also used as in the human consumption. These are the bioactive materials that are extracted from the natural resources. But we are thinking that this is a general. But you know that extracting the bioactive compound, converting it into the scaffolds, it will take nearly 2 years. Because for the scaffolds, we have to find the biocompatibility and also the cell migration, cell differentiation, and also the scaffold complement is very, very important for the human consumption. It will take nearly for long times. Just come. So you all know that from the marine, what are the compounds? Is exactly for the vitamin means phytopracin 1, melatonin from the invertebrates, and from the plants, taxol. I have told that from the flax, we have identified some of the taxol compounds and toxin compounds. So come to the collagen compounds. No, you all know that marine is one of the safe and it is one of the high biocompatibility. For most of the cases, the person who are using the creams and also from the lens and also from the biocompatibility materials which are making when they're going for the operations, namely from the marine resources only, they are isolating the collagen parts. For example, I can say squid and also starfish and also the seafish. From these sources, they are isolating the collagen and they're going for the extraction and enzyme degradation, particularly one of the collagen peptides. My dear friends, if you just making the extraction and purification, definitely you will get the, for example, acid treatment, you will get some collagen. But everybody can get collagen while doing research. But when you're particularly when you're going for the peptides, how you have to treat the application means the collagen peptides which are extracted from the, for example, shark bone, no, they can, one of my colleagues from the Jiva, he is from the Shankar Yoshi University. I'm saying clue for you. Those who want to do research also they can do. From the shark bone, they isolated the type 1 collagen. From the type 1 collagen, they converted to the scaffold and he made the implementation in the rabbit bone. Just he broke on the rabbit bone and he implemented the collagen which is extracted from the shark and he implemented in the rabbit. After 3 or 4 weeks, it completely covered and it make the bone formation. So this is the innovation he did in the starfish. So particularly he only gone for the peptides, not for the sources. Then he just made implementing the wound healing and also bone formation. So I have just placed this information here means I can say that marine is one of the important sources. We can collect so many sources. I told that no, for the natural resources, one is potency and one is the availability of sample. So if you want to do the research, what is the potency and availability of sample is very, very important. So in these cases only, the marine resources is one of the important sources for the active peptides. More active peptides are available. So come to this application. When it is going for marine collagen, it is used in the tissue repair, wound healing, and also one more thing I already told that cosmetics and also drug delivery systems. Exactly. Let's time come to the to the human. You all know the dental pup, right? Dental pup. I can say that I'm having a good experience, my dear friends. When I'm just traveling in China in Bird-Pack, I fell down. I have removed my teeth. But in cases I don't want to remove the teeth, I just go for root canals. In root canal, what the substance they keep means aloe vera collagen substance, gelatin substance they keep in my teeth. I'm going to while I'm working in regenerations, I told doctor to take this photo shot of my teeth. I'm going to share on the next slide. You can see that they have placed the gelatin in my teeth. Now my teeth is very good. My teeth is very good. I can bite the bone, everything. I said, what is a biomaterial? Means it's a collagen biomaterial which is extracted from the aloe vera. Aloe vera, we are eating we are using as a soap, everything. No? But the material is from the aloe vera. It's a natural. They say that it is a plant biomaterials. For the root canal therapy also, they remove the dead cells and they're inserting into the plant material that is called the plant collagen materials. So if I come to the cell culture lab, Just another assumption, and I'm going for how it is regenerative medicine means. When you're having, our human body contains so many of the stem cells and regenerative tissues and regenerative growth factors, everything is there, right? Our dental pulp also contains so many growth factors and biological factors. For example, if you remove the growth factors from the teeth, then you just go for the cell line condition, just go in the cell line conditions and just make a seed in the specific conditions in the incubator and develop the collagen scaffold. That collagen scaffold also can be implemented in the animal models. Implemented means, I told that my friend Jiva have implemented in the rabbit, right? So I have implemented it in the rat model and have recovered the animals within 3 to 6 days. Why I am saying this means, in China I told that no, if you're writing any project, you should focusing only on social issues. So in China, more or less 60% after the age of 60 ages person, above the 60 age persons, 60% of persons are focusing on bone disorders. So the government giving the sufficient fund to find the alternate biomaterial or anything scaffold that without any operation you have to rectify from the natural resources. So in these cases, from Shankar Jayatang University, from the dental department, they have extracted some of the stem cells from how the woman, our mother giving the birth to the baby, they having the umbilical right there. From our teeth and also we having some of dental pulp which contains so much biological factor that can be also useful for the human consumption for others. So this is my teeth. I told to my physician to take the photograph. I can share my one. See, this is my teeth. So you can see that the green, the red, and the yellow. You can see that I have placed some gelatin collagen. So you can see that it is from the collagen substance from the aloe vera. I have placed. It is a biomaterial. You can't see that it changed completely. It is fully pure white color. When I just placed, it completely filled my my teeth. You can see that the white layer. We can that in the red one, no, we can see some coated layer. No, this is the collagen substance which I from the aloe vera. This is my teeth. So next come to that another natural products is, you all know that we are well know that we are taking. I told that no, Chinese are taking the green tea leaves, right? Green tea leaves and also the red grapes. That's green. So when I just go for, this is one of my laboratory work which is done by the Leon Sheens. This is one of the master degree student. So he just published the paper in the biomaterials. You can go through this paper. So I just have thought when I'm discussing with my professor, Jishu Yan, he told that we're going to just collect we are all taking the green teas as an antioxidant, as a main relief. We're going to extract some biomaterial from that. So he just carried out this project and he went for the solvent extraction. Just so he identified 3 things. One is the gallic acid, one is the grape skin extract, only the peel of the grape extracts under the tree leaves. We just identify the compound and we made a bioactive glass. Oh, what is bioactive glass? We can say that it is one of the natural polyphenols which contains a good bioactivity, bone bonding ability, antioxidant, anti-cancer, antimicrobial, bone stimulating. This is one of my graphical abstract. You can go through the paper. You can type in the internet, my Jishi and et al. So you can find this biomaterial from the red grape skin and also green leaf tissues. So why I'm just sharing this point to here means, the person who want to do some of the research means you can utilize this. Why I don't want to say that choose the Chinese green tea. They can choose our Indian green teas, and we can go for some biomaterials that should be responsible for as a biomaterial glass. You can just make as a bioactive glass, and you can utilize as a human consumption. Mainly, it is only useful for you should target for the bone contact application, because it is one of the good application for the bone disorders. Let's come to the marines. You all know that this is a sea cucumber, right? So many bioactive compounds are extracted and reported. Antifungal, antibacterial, anticoagulant, anti-tumor. And you all know that these starfish and sea cucumbers are belong to the one family of friends, because if you just damage any skin on the body of the sea cucumber, it can able to repair the tissue, it can able to repair this wound healing, and it is a nutrient storage. And one more thing, that it is contain more substance of collagen. So from the, for example, if you're choosing some natural resources that contain the collagen, means You know that your particular point is collagen. That collagen material, how it can be utilized in the uterine consumption, whether in the bone or in the skin or maybe in the eye disorders. That is a very, very important point. Now my next project is focusing on this one. I have already extracted the collagen. Now I'm focusing on the zebrafish for the wound healing activities. So come to our human consumption. Our human itself, I mean, we are having so much of cells. For example, blood. Come to our blood. Don't go for natural resources also. I can say that in our human also we are having so much of biological factors, even in our blood factors, in our blood. For example, if you just isolate the blood and go for centrifugation, so for example, plasma, red blood cells, how it can be used as a, that the platelet-rich plasma can be used as a autologous fuse. That is for tissue engineering, mainly in two fields. One is a biomaterial, one for the cell fields. Why I'm saying means most of the cases in China, you can see the youngsters will be very, very obese. They're very obese. Don't compare with the films. Most cases they are very abused and they are very poor eaters. And they eat lot of things and they will be very junk. Mostly they will eat only pig because pig contains so much of collagen, anything, so much of fatty acids. So they will be fat. For in these cases also, they do some liquefactions. They are just isolated and give it, they transfer the cells and they also utilize as a bio. How we are having the blood bank, how we are having the stem cell bank. In there also they're having the fatty cells bank that can be also useful for the to treat from other diseases. So I want to play a good video for you for regeneration. As a zoology field, you have to know for that relaxation. Shall I play the video now? Shall I play the video now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
One
Yes,
of the
sir.
good model for regeneration. Just one second. My dear friends, you have watched the video, right? I can say why I watched the means you have to be relaxed. So why I'm saying regeneration, why I have choose the regeneration animals from the back materials means this is one of the good role model for the regenerations. While I'm in China, my professor, who was Jishu Yan, he is working in the Britain, no? While he's doing a postdoc, he's working on these animals. He told to carry out the same progress, same methodology, but he say only one thing, Raj. I have done in Salamander. As a postdoc researcher, as a scientist, you have to think because you did marine biotechnology. Think very here. You want to listen very careful. How our basic research, our review of literature, learning in the research, how it will be useful for your postdoc means. If you are strong in the basic, definitely wherever you go in the world, definitely you will succeed. He told that you are in marine biotechnology. Why don't you choose as a marine source which having the retention capacity? For this, I choose this starfish, and then I'll just carry out the same methodology. So let's come to the point. This as a story I'm just sharing with in behind of our slides. So what are the important for the regeneration process means? I can say that the PGDF, DGF, TGF beta, KGF. KGF is not a film. Is a KGF is a carotenoids growth factors. It's responsible for the growth and regeneration of carotenoids, and EGF and FGF. The FGF, all know that fibroblast growth factor, which is responsible for the tissue repair, cell growth, collagen action is very important. And EGF is the epidermal growth factors, which is responsible for the promotion of epithelial cell growth, angiogenesis, and promotion of wound healing. So I can say that, sir, you all say the growth factors and platelets. Which one is very important? Means I can say that for the whole healing, for the regeneration capacity, which factor is the first thing is means TGF beta and FGF and epidermal. I mean EGF is three things is more important, and it shows the collagen production. And one more thing is the platelet rate growth factor. No, I told that from our human cells and also blood cells, it is very more potent and it is more available in the blood cells, and it is also have the ability for the collagen production. This is the important point I'm focusing on. For example, sir, okay, I'm not focusing on the collagen products or natural products. I want to focusing on the biological factors. Means we have to go for the biological growth factors from the natural products. These are the sources. PGDF and UGF right now. We have to go for a specific plant or a specific animal, and you have to isolate the specific methodology. You choose the specific methodology and also choose the specific growth factors. That growth factors that should be give the answer for the wound healing, which result to the angiogenesis. That's very important. So let's come to here. So we all know that is a world map, right? So in this world map, how many research make how many growth factors? We can ask so many questions. How many growth factors are available in the market? What are the countries that are focusing on regeneration? Maybe I'm sorry that in India it is very new technique, but in Western European countries and also American and European countries, they're having the good laboratory facilities, and also they are having the good ability of research scholars and postdocs to do research in the regeneration field, mainly on the natural products. In India, we having Siddha Ayurveda. It's very good, but how many of them are going to take Siddha and Ayurveda? I'm not promoting Siddha and Ayurveda, but the natural products is one of the important things which is very important for our human beings, for our law, for to cure some diseases, right? That's things. This is the graph shows that the green color shows the high and mild. So yellow is a mild. Maybe our India and China also now is growing countries, but in China, I told that now my professor is from the green. He went for there and he learned the technique from the salamander. Then I learned the technique from the starfish and zebrafish. Now at present I'm in India. I'm implementing. I'm struggling. I'm just promoting the regeneration in Arubadi Medical Vedu. As in the central of research laboratories, I'm having now created one research laboratory as a zebrafish model. I'm planning to apply. I have already applied for the ICMR project and also so many projects. One more good thing is my ICMR project is short-lived now, so I'm just now I'm focusing on some other projects to explore my laboratories. So it is not an end of era, but it is an endless Fortuner regeneration from the regeneration field from the back to products. So these are the reference. So finally, I'm come to the conclude my point. Our beloved honorable late, one of my favorite, my most inspiration person, our Abdul Kalam, rightly said that without your involvement, definitely you cannot succeed. But with your involvement, you cannot able to fight. I can say one more thing, that without your involvement, you cannot succeed. But with your involvement, you can't fail. I wish you all the success. Any queries or any questions or any collaborations regarding the research, regarding bioactive compounds or natural products or anything else, I'm very friendly, and you can call me at any time. You can ring me, and you can WhatsApp me, and you can email me. I'm very, very happy to answer all the queries and answers. Thank you all. I wish you all the best for the students and research scholars. And I am just saying that I'm openly giving the red carpet to all that. I want to collaborate with your Guru Nanak College, to having the collaboration in the research and also in the upcoming fields in Envendas. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, sir, for that wonderful session. Now, sir, we are having few questions in the chat box. I request Dr. Mahendra Kumar to kindly read it out so that
Yes,
sir can answer.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much, ma'am. Sir, we have few questions.
Sure.
One, Ms. Bhagyashree has asked, sir, I have read organ damage happens to pregnant women. The baby in the womb sends stem cells to repair the organ damage. Is it possible? Can you please explain?
Sir, it's a very, from the question itself, answer is there. I told that no, as a mother, as a umbilical is one of the embryonic stem cells is one of the good activities of biomaterial, and also stem cells can able to cure the diseases. For example, my sister, I'm not going to share with any stories. I'm sharing my own experience. My sister and the boy baby. Maybe 2 years later, she's having a bone fracture, and also it's also immune disorders. And but we have the stem cell bank. No, he already registered in the stem cell bank. He taken the own stem cells and he just recruited for the son. He is now okay. For the answer, it is good and it is possible.
Okay, sir. And one participant, Yojana Patil, has asked, how can we select plant for biomedical application based upon the elements present in the plants?
See, I told that I think she got my point. So plant is a long time history that is used for the natural resources. I'm saying that you all know that everybody will know that aloe vera contains the collagen substance, gelatin substance, right? For example, I can go for the fish, or for example, crab. The crab contains chitins compound, but everybody know that compound is there. But how we are going to utilize that compound for the biomaterials, that you have to think about that. I told that no, the chitin materials that can use for the bone remodeling. Which field you have to use is very, very important. That's the thing, the answer. So plant is also a good source. For the elements and all, we have to go for the nanoparticles, and it's another field is also there. Just avoiding for the nanoparticles, but I'm not well on that nanoparticles and elements. But regarding bioactive compounds, the plant resources and marine resources are one of the good resources for regeneration.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. And
Thank you,
Dr. Chitra ma'am from Chemistry Department, Guru Nanak College, she had asked, she would like to know the lifespan and the durability of aloe vera collagen.
Lifespan?
Lifespan or the durability of aloe vera, collagen got from aloe vera.
Yeah. Just I'm saying one example. I'm not familiar on that one, but most of the cases, those are using for the creams, no, face creams, and also for the food complements. It's good. Its lifespan is so long. Maybe according to the company products, we have every product having the some date, right? So according to the collagen, it's a long stable, because while I'm just doing the extract of the collagen from the aloe vera, till now I'm using the product. I'm going for the biocoagulate activity in bone regeneration. So it's a long term.
Okay.
Answer is a long term.
Okay, sir. Sir, one Miss Diksha Arora has asked, may we have the phytoplankton as a source of biomaterials?
That's a good question, sir. Plankton, I know that it is coming under some zooplankton, right? So maybe I'm not aware on this, but you can consider with some other zoological to confirm that one, madam. Because I'm so focusing only on marine collagen, sir. So I'm not aware on this one.
Okay.
I have to be answered very frankly.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah, yeah.
And one Miss Amina Mason has asked, can we use the stem cell for the regrowth of any organs in the human body, maybe
Exactly.
in future?
Answer is exactly we can use.
Okay, okay, sir. Thank
Because
you.
why I'm saying strongly means, see, actually for the human ethical committee, you have to go for human ethical committee. So for the in the cases to avoid that one only, we are choosing for the natural resources. So natural resources, nobody will ask questions. You're going for animal model or human model only, you have to go for IRC and animal ethical committee and also human ethical committee. For natural resources, I think nothing.
Okay, okay, sir. Sir,
Yeah.
one Miss Dhritiman Chanda has asked, what is the present status of regenerative medicine in India for future utilization, process, and human consumption?
Yeah, fine. I can say some few institutes, IIT IIT and Vivekananda, and in Chennai and in Tamil Nadu, our Indian Institute of Technology, and recently Ramachandra University, no, Ramachandra Hospital University in Chennai near Vadabani, they have started the course on stem cell regenerative medicines. This year they have started the course. I am one of the co-members on the committee. So as far the answer for the in India, I'm saying that one thing is we have to have the good laboratory. I know that everybody is going to struggle and everybody is struggling also, but I told that no, I have shown one graph, right? So in
Yes, sir.
India, it is yellow color. I'm also struggling. I'm also having. I don't want to explaining the research to the unknown person and getting to be known is very difficult, and also obtaining the project from the ICMR and also from other institute also is very difficult. And in India we have to struggle, but if you learn the things from the new things, but definitely our Indian government and also our research institute will help us self-financially. We have to do that one.
Thank you, sir. One person, Riemann Andy, has asked, can you please show light on bioplastics from marine sources?
Bioplastic,
Yes, sir.
bioplastic, I don't have any idea, sir.
Okay, thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
I'm only specialist only in bioactive natural products.
Okay.
That should be useful for the regenerative
Sir, one
medicine.
Mr. Ramana Kishore has asked, which marine species has the highest regenerative capacity?
Starfish, octopus,
Okay.
sea urchin, sea cucumber.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah,
Sir,
yeah.
one at the same, Nirman Khanna has asked, regenerative medicine is similar to animal cell line culture or it is different?
It's a different. So regenerative medicine. Regenerative means the animals have the ability to regenerate. We have to know what is the active compound present on that. That active compound you have to isolate and characterize. That should be converted into the biomaterial. That should be again used for the human consumption. That is called the bioactive material for a regenerative medicine. That's exactly the point. It's entirely different.
Thank you so much, sir. You've answered all the questions posted by
It's
the
okay
participants.
because this is my experience. Because while I'm going for international conference, even silly questions, also complicated questions will be raised in the China. I have to have the ability to answer. In beginning of that, my professor stand on me and he answered the questions. Now what the questions the students and the scientists are asking is exactly same.
Yes,
Nothing is
sir.
different.
Sir,
I'm sharing my experience.
one more last question
Yeah,
by
can
Amira Mesin. She had asked, can we combine regenerative medicine with genomic medicine as individual to individual differences will be there?
Exactly. For example, regenerative don't just a regenerative is one of the field, but the material, no. While I'm taking the class, I'm taking the webinar. I'm just showing some of the figures and saying that it's a natural product from the because if I'm particularly saying for peptide sequence or peptide material, glassy material, collagen, cytogen, gelatin means everybody will know. But exactly from the collagen, when you're going for the Maltitaf or anything sequencing analyzer, you particularly as a protein, we have some particular sequence of amino acid. That sequence amino acid you have to identify. I told that no extraction, characterization is everything same. We are all doing our institute, characterization, purification to get the degree. But when you're going for the active material or active means we have to identify the peptide, active peptide. I mean the active sequence or active component from the exactly. That's the thing.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please suggest an effective in vitro model for wound healing? Dr. Sripriya has asked.
Zebra fish.
Zebra.
Zebra fish. Don't go for a lot of money. I can say just spend for 15 rupees. 15 rupees, just go for aquarium. Just buy Danarius zebrafish. I can say that, my dear friends, animal model is, you all know that mice is a human model, right? I can say that you can go for the any other research papers. Zebrafish is the alternate model of mice. 96% gene polymorphism is matched with our human gene. You all know that? So zebrafish is one of the good model. If those who want to do the animal model or mice model, I am suggesting that don't go for animal model. In China, South Korea, Japan, they just change the way. They just can come out on the marine model. They're going for the zebrafish model because gene polymorphism is available and gene we can easily modify, and also we can easily just if you go for a company, if you just out of our premises, you can easily obtain, right? And animal model also, while I'm just do for rabbit model, they ask you one question. Already, if a rabbit, if you're having any diseases, if you give any medicines, how you can say it is having wound healing? Because most of the cases are human and other living organisms having the anticoagulants or anti anything. It is definitely, if you take medicine, you will recover before 3 days. If you don't take medicine, you will recover before 2 weeks. So something is happening, is there, right? Some mechanisms and pathway. So in these cases, particularly unless zebrafish is one of the good model, it's the alternative model for the regeneration. So I'm suggesting that zebrafish Danaria is one of the good animal model, alternative model for the regeneration and also for the animal studies.
Okay. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah,
I think all the questions have been answered very apt and crisp by you. Thank you so much, sir.
so much.
Now I request our Dean ma'am to kindly proceed. Madam, please.
Yes, thank you, sir. There is one question from our Dean of Sciences, Dr. Noor Jahan, which she mentioned in one of our webinars last time also. She was asking about the availability of zebrafish, sir. How far is it available in Chennai? She wants to know.
Yeah. Everything, everything they're asking, I can say that. 1 second, I can ask my colleague. What is the name of the college?
I think Shivakumar sir has answered to the question. That's why I wanted to.
Abdul Hakim from the college is from the India. Is one of the college is having the zebrafish model of cell lines. I can say everybody is listening, right? You can write in notebook PAC2. Just note it down. PAC2 cell line is a zebrafish cell line. Doesn't have, you can just make in a normal incubator. No need of CO2 incubator. No need of CO2 incubator. If you are having a laboratory as a normal incubator, you can maintain the cells. From the cells, you can, I can say that for the normal zebrafish also, we can get from the person. And in India, most aquarium persons in Chennai and also in Coimbatore, they're having Devi aquarium. They're having some transgenic zebrafish also. I'm giving information to everybody. Transgenic zebrafish also there, a normal zebrafish also there. And Halcom from Abdul Khan College, you can get the PAC2 cell line. That's the thing. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We are able to hear.
Yeah. I'm giving information to everybody. PAC2 cell line, and also we having the genetically modified zebrafish also there.
Yes, I think sir has answered all the queries wonderfully. I think we can wind up the session. Let me formally propose a vote of thanks from the Guru Nanak Center for Research. First and foremost, I would like to thank the resource person of today, Dr. Prithvi Raj, for the wonderful session that he presented. The way he tackled the entire presentation, all the queries, it shows the strength of his research and also the strength of the future research which is involved in marine biotechnology or zoology. We are so happy, sir, that you have accepted our invitation and you have been here today and you have given such an informative session to all of us. And at the outset, I would like to thank that you have also extended the collaboration and other facilities with the Guru Nanak Center for Research.
Yeah, sure.
In fact,
I'll be very, very happy because basically being a zoologist and also my research area lies in crustacean endocrinology. We have been working a very long time in prawns, lobsters and crabs, and we are trying to generate compounds from the waste that is being thrown out from these crustaceans. And we'll be very happy to collaborate with you in this regard. Thank you so much, sir, for being here and also having accepted the collaboration thing. Thank you once again to the resource person. And a formal thanks to our respective General Secretary and Correspondent, Sardar Manjit Singh Nayyar, and ever motivating Principal Dr. M.G. Raghunathan, who have always supported our research activities. I thank the organizing secretary of today's webinar, Dr. Gayatri, for fixing such a wonderful resource person for us. And thanks to the Dean of Sciences, Dr. Noor Jahan, for being there for always for us and supporting all our endeavors. And to the Dean Academics, Dr. Savitri, and all the deans and HODs from various departments, my student friends. Usually our vice principal is always there. Today she told she has some other commitment. Dr. LRS Kalanidhi will always be there. Thank you. In absentia, I'd like to thank Dr. LRS Kalanidhi, ma'am. And biggest support, Dr. Mahendra Kumar from the Department of Biotechnology, who always supports us and be there for every day. Thank you so much, sir. And thanks to all the research scholars, students, and all the participants from across the country who have come here and you have attended the webinar and so actively participated. Please do join us for all the upcoming programs in future also. Thank you so much. Thank you one and all.
Want to know more about these topics? Please follow us at Guru Nanak Center for Research YouTube page, Facebook, Instagram, and don't forget to subscribe our channel. Thank you.